Hello everybody, welcome back to New Comic Book Day number 6. Of course, late one today, but of course, like I said it on live streams recently, is that, sorry about this, right, I said on live streams recently that, of course, the video today was going to be a bit later, because it was bank holiday this Monday in the UK, and so the video, so my comic book shop didn't get they normally get their orders on Tuesday, and the guy sorts them out for Wednesday, but he got their orders Wednesday, and so I went and got my order today. So I've got a pretty big stack. Not too bad, but it was a fairly busy week depending on what you get. Like, it was fairly busy for me. There's one issue 1 in here, some cool little issues, issue 0, which I'll get to, but that's a couple of weeks old. But anyways, I'm going to quickly show off something that I thought I'd make a new segment, and I'm going to add it into the videos, and I may do figure pickups on this thing, but I might just keep it more so comics, because I've done figures like a couple of weeks, and then I just don't know, because I don't get as many figures, and so I don't really know if there's much point anymore. So I will do in future, it's just at the moment I'm comics, but I wanted to just get into what I read this week, because I wanted to try and have this as a new segment, just so every week, to keep me up on reading, and just keep me up on, knowing where I am, and just keeping up with comics, is I just wanted to add in a segment. So, this is what I read this week. So I read Punisher issue 3, very good storyline, so this is a Punisher storyline that follows Punisher Red Band. Haven't read Red Band just because I haven't got it, but to be honest though, you can go on to this no matter what. It doesn't really matter. Personally for me, I somewhat still knew what was going on, so would recommend, definitely, very good. Gave that 5 stars on Comic Geeks. And then second one, of course, second issue as well, Century issue 2, read this, very good, gave it 5 stars as well. I know I do tend to be very generous. I tend to give a lot of stuff 5 stars, but it's more so just because I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. And I'll normally rate something the only 2 things that I've rated low recently was the Jeff the Landshark comic, more so just because there's not really much dialogue in it. It's mostly just Jeff making noises. And so, yeah, it is funny, but it's just a bit annoying when it's £5 kind of thing, you know what I mean? And then the other thing was the Iceman one. I didn't mind the Iceman, but it was alright. It was decent though. It was good to know a bit about Iceman and stuff, but it was just a bit. But other than that though, I give most stuff 5 stars just because I like it. At the end of the day, every Amazing Spider-Man issue I'll give 5 stars, just because I love Amazing Spider-Man kind of thing. But this is very good. And then you've got Mark Spector Moon Knight issue 3. Honestly, this Moon Knight storyline is so good. I'm not too familiar with Moon Knight before this. I'm familiar in the sense of that I know of him from kind of from comics, the fact that he's got 3 personalities, he worships Khonshu kind of thing, but now reading this, it's just so good. How it starts and just how it's become now issue 3, which I'll get to a certain pickup because it's maybe in issue 4. But very good so far, so would definitely recommend if there's people who are watching that haven't got many of any of these issues, so Century issue 2, Punisher issue 3, and Moon Knight issue 3, I would definitely get them. Of course get issue 1 and 2, but they're so good. But I wanted to, so going on to pickups, I wanted to add these 2 things because I got them today. They were only 50p, but I normally tend to get them free just because not really many people get them, and so the guy at the comic book shop kind of just lets me have them kind of thing. And it's literally just as simple as just, this is the Marvel one, but it's a Marvel magazine type of thing, and it's more so just it's literally just showing you what is coming within the next month or 2, and so I like to get these just because like they're just cool, kind of nice to see what you get. Like for instance, I'll open a page here. Let me quickly just get to it. Here is so Gambit issue 1's coming out, and that is pretty cool. And of course, there's some like you can see all the other like variants and that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm just like it's just good to see what's coming out, even though of course I tend to keep up with it anyways. Just the fact that these are like near enough like only 50p, or in my case I tend to get them sometimes free, but it's just kind of cool to be honest, and I tend to just get them always just so you can see what's coming out. Even like stuff like this, like these are like epic collections, like massive. Like I wouldn't like I tend to keep on track with comics more so than I do trades, and so like most of the Marvel trades they actually like show you on here, so it's kind of cool what's coming out. But yeah, so I've got a Marvel one, and of course, sorry John Morrissey, but as much as I love Marvel, I've got to have a little bit of DC in there. I know you love DC, really? Nah, I'm joking. But anyways, DC Connect. So this is basically the same exact thing as this, even though funny enough, that's way more thicker than this one. But it's near enough the same exact thing, where it's just like, it's kind of just a showcase of what's coming out in the next couple like months or Oh no, it's July. These are July 2026. So everything coming out in July basically, so yeah, just excited to see that. Even though I'm like with DC, I tend to only get a certain amount of stuff, but recently I've been trying to delve into other stuff just so like it's not because like I'm just going into DC a bit more because I don't know as much about DC. Like Marvel I will buy loads of just because I love it, but I know somewhat about these characters already. I'm just like reading like I somewhat know about them. With DC, I don't really know anything too much other than like main characters, and so that's why I got Zatanna number 1 because I'm not too sure who she is. I know of who she is like through like you lot, as in people watching or just people within the chat, if people within the Legends of Liquor lot, if you lot are watching, and so like I know of her through like certain people, but other than that, I don't know much. So I think like it's just a good point to go on to, just because a lot of number 1s recently have come out of characters that I'm not too familiar with, like storyline wise, like origin and just how they go about certain stuff. And so just happy to go into it a little bit. But sorry, John Morrissey, but got this DC magazine, and there is another DC issue in here, but so sorry. But to be fair though, I will say that it is overrun by Marvel, hence the t-shirt. Spider-Man, there's a Spider-Man issue today. Gotta get that Spider-Man issue in there. Road to 1,000 issues. I know, John Morrissey, you have all of them, but let's get to the pickups. Right. First pickup, I really wanted to get this because, like, same with the Gambit number 1 coming out. This number 1 came out this week, and I just really wanted to get it just because I wanted to see what it was. I'm not too familiar with her as a character other than, like, media that I've watched, more so than comics. But it's a Jubilee Deadly Reunion number 1. So this is like I don't know the story of it too much, but I just know more so that it's got Jubilee in it. I think Jubilee's kind of cool. Just happy to get on board with it, see where that goes. And then keep it X-Men themed. I got X-Men issue 29. And it's like part 4 of like a storyline they're doing at the moment called with the Danger Room or something. I'm not too familiar with it because sadly with X-Men and Uncanny X-Men I'm very far behind, but I'm trying to keep on track, so it's not like whatever. It's just like there's certain, because I started it at like the issues within the 20s. It's kind of hard now to go back, and certain weeks, depending on the week, if it's busy or not, like I tend to not be able to sometimes backtrack. But this looks very, like, from the cover alone, it looks very, like, exciting, but also, like, scary in a way, just because it's, like, if you can tell, there's, like, a tombstone of "Here's Lies the X-Men," so I'm trying to, it's kind of, pretty odd and kind of excited to see what goes down in these issues, because I know the X-Men, if you haven't seen, which is kind of a spoiler, but not really, because I kind of just saw the cover for it, is that in one of Infernal Hulk's issues that are coming out in a couple months. He's fighting the X-Men, so I'm happy to see that play out. But yeah, next issue, of course, like I said, Mark Spector Moon Knight, read issue 3, very good, and of course, they had to give me issue 4. Like, honestly, I had to get this. Like, I love characters like Spider-Man, Wolverine, Hulk. They're my main three, and I know they're the main three in comics, but they are my main three. But I love street level superheroes just because they seem, they seem like they're just really cool. Like, especially Moon Knight. Like, I personally didn't mind the Disney Plus show that much. Like, I know, like, I've heard some people say that it's a bit iffy, but because I don't know as much of Moon Knight, then I don't have the, like, personal things where, like, I can have gripes with it kind of thing. Because if it's not to the standard of the comics, then I get it in a way. Like, if people would be annoyed about it. But personally, I didn't mind the TV show, and this Moon Knight comic has made me love Moon Knight a bit more. And so, like, it's just how he goes about certain stuff in this comic is just so good, and it's just the whole, like, storyline within it. I won't go into details, but it's just like there's a whole, like, I think I would say, like, a whole, like, mental health kind of thing with it, and kind of like, and just without going into too much detail, it's just him, like, a bit down in the dumps kind of thing, and he's like people were telling him what to do, this, that, and the other, and he kind of just, in the last issue, kind of just lets it all out and just goes a bit crazy. But of course, I have to read that. But anyways, issue 4, very good. Excited for that. Of course, had to get this issue because issue 1 was so good. Like, I know of the character, like, it's Daredevil issue 2 for starters. So, yeah, what can I say? But I know, like I said, with this, there's this another street level hero. I know of him more so from the MCU TV show, like, most recent Born Again, as well as the Netflix one. And it's just like, now reading this, going off of finishing Born Again, which literally finished yesterday, which I won't talk into that, but, like, just every, like, so for instance, when the first issue of this came out, April 1st, was as well as the show, and it's just like, it gets me more hyped for this. And just the new character, you may be able to see him, or her, Omen. It's like some new, like, villain that I think Stephanie Phillips, who is the writer on this, created just to have against Daredevil. And just, like, the art on it, the colours on it, the writing, it's really good. And I just personally love it. So, issue 2. And of course, I had to get this just because I saw it and I just thought, I might as well. I got the Marvel Television variant for Daredevil. I don't tend to get Marvel Television variants, but the most recent ones, like, for instance, like, Punisher issue 3, I got the Born Again Punisher one. And this one I got just because, like, it was probably more so just because I was hyped with Born Again, kind of. And I just personally, I like this. Like, I like the body background. Like, it's just full, like, kind of like Avatar looking photo. Like, it just looks kind of cool, to be honest. And I know there's a Muse one for the first issue that I'm gonna have to get because I didn't end up buying that, and so I'm gonna have to try and track that down. But this looks really cool. So, yeah. And then on to the issue that is probably going to be my pick of the week. I'm not going to do pick of the week within this, like, video just because I haven't read them, but I'm going to assume that this is going to be my pick of the week, and maybe John Morrissey's as well, is The Amazing Spider-Man issue 28. Because, like, I haven't got to the Death Spiral yet, but because this is the issue right after the Death Spiral, I just imagine, like, it's gonna be sick, or it's gonna be pretty good, just because it's gonna be, like, Peter dealing with what happened in Death Spiral, and like also it doesn't like say on this issue, but I think it might on the most recent on the next ones. Is this is leading up to issue 1000 of Spider-Man, like 1000 issues of Spider-Man. Imagine that. That is pretty crazy, but it's a character that you can, as much as he keeps getting rewritten and keeps getting new number ones. So the fact that he's got 1000 issues means that like people like John Morrissey and people like me and just people in general love this character so much to the point where he can keep getting issues, just because like you can't, like when it comes, I've literally got like Todd, for example. Todd had Spider-Man. Now we've got this Spider-Man. Like it's just like Spider-Man. I just hope it does never gets to a point, because I don't personally think it will. Is I'm just kind of worried, even though I'm of the younger generation, that people younger than me will like not have an attachment and just forget about Spider-Man and people like that. I don't think it will get to that point, but just it worries me sometimes, just because like the media, even though we've got the new Spider-Man film coming out, it's just the fact that I want to keep buying this, and it's just Spider-Man's so sick. No wonder why he's like top 3. But anyways, I'll digress from this, and I'll go on to this issue, which I'm very excited for. Wade Wilson Deadpool issue 4. Honestly, this is another one which is so good. Like the whole storyline with him and like, it's like a, I won't go into it too much, but you can like kind of tell from the cover there's like him and Hammerhead doing some sort of thing, and it just like how the issues like work out and how they go about themselves and how like the plot is it just works well for a Deadpool comic, or as what I know of Deadpool. But like I've said it, I think I've said it before on live streams or just in general, that whenever I read of this, or whenever I read this, I read Deadpool as Ryan Reynolds, which I know is like kind of odd, but it's like it for some characters. Like I will then in my head read it as like they'll be in my head as it. I know it maybe might sound a bit odd, but personally, like because I know Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, and it'll be him, or it'll be the one from the game, like kind of thing. And so it'd be kind of funny just because like that's my Deadpool at least, and I think he does a pretty good job. But anyways, this comic is very good. I'm very excited, so definitely buy it if you haven't. But anyways, next one. So I've got Fantastic Four issue 10, and I've got the colour book white variant. So I haven't got the A cover for this, but I always get the David Nakayama colour blocks. So I've got this. I may start reading Fantastic Four, but because it's issue 10, I've got to get 9 other issues. And like I don't know whether I will. So this might just be one that just like I might just get like another short box and then just have like a David Nakayama short box kind of thing maybe. But yeah, excited for that. Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant, issue 4. Excited for this. I haven't started reading this yet because I have issue 1 and 2 and 3. But like, I've heard good things, and Storm as a character in X-Men 97 and just in most stuff that I know of her in, like she is very good, and just like her like kind of backstory, and or I know a little bit of her backstory and just how she goes into like certain stuff and how she's like a goddess near enough, and it's just kind of cool, and so I'm excited. Of course, I got Cyclops issue 4. This I've read the first 2 issues of this. I don't think I read 3, but it's very good. So excited for, excited for this, and it's just like the whole storyline of it. It just suits it fairly well. Like I don't know, and if you're able to put in the comments, then let me know. But I started reading this before reading the X-Men, and I don't know whether I have to get to a certain point of the X-Men before reading this, but I kind of just done it anyways. But yeah, that's very good. And then I've got 2 more issues now. This one John Morrissey won't be happy with, but I can't lie, it's one of my favourites. Matt Fraction's Batman. So his Batman run is very good. I can't lie. Like every week, or not every week, every month that the issues come out, it gives me more and more excitement. Just because Batman is my favourite DC character, and this gives me more love for him. Personally, as much as I love Absolute Batman, I like the blue and grey personally. But it's not for everyone, I know that. Last issue, it's an issue 0 because kind of just like a little like preview into the story that's coming out in like June or July, and it's called Warbird. This was only like £1. It's very thin, even though the comics are kind of thin anyways. This is like very thin, and so you have to be like very careful with it. But it's just like a cool, it looks like James Bond-esque, like just a cool little storyline, and just like the guy at the comic book shop was basically just saying how like he's excited for it, and like they've got like a fair bit of them, and so I just decided to get it and see what it's like, because then if I don't end up liking it, then I won't get the actual issue, but if I do, then it's another new, completely different comic other than Marvel and DC, so I don't mind it. But of course, that was all my pulls for this week. Got a fair bit more Marvel than DC, of course, how I like it. So does John Morrissey. But anyways, today's been New Comic Book Day number 6. But of course, I will say as well, I didn't get a trade this week just because like I kind of forgot, and also I didn't really know what to pick out, and I was too busy getting these comics, so I didn't bother. But I would definitely probably get a trade next week, and so I have a trade shelf. But I wanted to just also say that I know I should maybe say this at the start of the video, but I kind of just forgot. But of course, if you can, like, subscribe, comment if you want to. You don't have to like and subscribe. It's up to you. Like, it doesn't, of course, it's free, but it doesn't bother me, to be honest, because the fact that you're watching, like, anyways, just it's nice, and I like it anyway. So it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't bother me if you like and subscribe, but I would much appreciate it. But I will say, of course, that I think, I can't remember if it's next week, or I think it's like in a couple of weeks, there'll be another bank holiday for us in the UK. And so my video will be a bit later that week as well. But I just thought I'd let you guys know. And of course, I have been Ashran231 Comics. And of course, you can find me here on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, Ashran231. Find me on Gen Z Report every Saturday, where we talk toys, toy news, talk pickups. Also, depending on the subject, it could be ranking MCU movies, ranking Marvel films, could be Daredevil episodes, could be nostalgia stuff, maybe. But anyways, of course, as well as Dan Who Reviews, of course, Legends of Liquor every 2 weeks, extra show every Thursday. We'll be there tonight, hopefully. But of course, it's been me, it's been Ashran231 Comics. This is New Comic Book Day number 6, and peace.